Okay, so I wanted to make a part 2 from my last and most recent video because I barely explained exactly on what you're supposed to do to stimulate growth and how to maximize in size. So for starters, you have to make sure that you are sleeping, you are intaking your protein, you are drinking enough water, and you got to make sure that you have the energy. And in order to have the energy, you have to make sure that you are eating and make sure you are sleeping. So the training style that you have to approach in the gym is hypertrophy. And so what hypertrophy will essentially do for you is obviously you'll gain size if you train it properly. So you have to go for high amount of reps, moderate amount of weight, and you are contracting throughout the whole movement, especially when it comes to, let's say, dumbbell press. You have to make sure that you're going down on the descent, and as soon as you're going from the ascend part, you are contracting the whole way, and then when you come down again, you are getting a nice deep stretch, and same way up, you are just contracting the whole way. And when it comes to other muscle groups, you don't exactly have to go nice and deep and slow. As long as you're getting this nice burn and you are not just winging the movement and just abusing your joints like crazy, then you should be fine. But don't ever ego lift whatsoever, because hypertrophy is not about lifting the most amount of weight. It's morely about how much you could contract within the movement and how much you're able to get out of it, because there's certain exercises that work for you and there's some that don't. So try to expand your variety in workouts, because if you're just stuck on one and you could have done another workout that could have saved you from a long time ago, just try to expand your variety. So don't be scared to try other workouts, because a lot of people stick to the most basic ones, and more than not, a lot of the basic ones are actually the best ones. So like, let's say bench press and dumbbell press. I mean, you could argue that dumbbell press is better than bench press, which I don't ever do bench press anymore because I just feel like I don't get enough activation in my pecs as much, and that's why I do dumbbell press a lot more. And like I said before, you got to make sure that you got to pick the workout that makes you feel that activation in your chest, your shoulders, your legs as much as possible, because otherwise you're wasting your time. And if you don't feel the activation in your muscles, it's probably because your muscle mind connection isn't there whatsoever. So you have to give it time. You got to make sure that you're lifting a low amount of weight and make sure that you are focusing your muscle as much as possible. It takes a bit of time so your muscle gets comfortable, and then you'll finally start to feel the burn, and you'll start to be able to get that time under tension a lot better. So I pretty much wanted to debunk that other video I made, because I didn't explain anything that was useful. I mean, I actually did, but I mean, I just explained what your body's going through while you're training hypertrophy. So like I said before, you need plenty of food. Basically eat above your normal like day-to-day eating. So you can't eat whenever you want, and you can't just eat whenever you feel hungry. You have to make sure that you are on track, because the whole time throughout the day when you're eating, you don't feel even slightly hungry. You won't feel like even tired. You'll feel satiated, and you'll feel like you have energy. So, and you got to make sure you're sleeping. Otherwise, you can't just like go to sleep like whenever, like it's 2 a.m, and your CNS and you just won't function properly in the gym, and you won't be able to accumulate for what you're supposed to be doing. And yeah, that's just pretty much what I've been wanting to explain. And I overwatched my most recent video, and it did make sense, but it's not exactly what y'all want to hear. And I want to make sure that y'all are being educated on exactly how you want to maximize in size, because no one wants to stay small, scrawny, and skinny everyone wants to always look their best as much as possible, and not saying that you know, you should shun yourself for being really big or really skinny. I mean, personally, like when it comes to body positivity, I think in any way, shape, or form we should always try to go to the gym, because I feel like in a way it will impact your life as much as it had done for me. So yeah, like even if it means go out and do cardio, which I recommend to avoid when you're doing hypertrophy and when you're trying to gain in size. Do you avoid cardio? But I do recommend walking, you know, 30 minutes before you do anything, or after. Actually do it after you finish your workout, and because it's just good for you. That's all I gotta say. Just keep it simple. Yeah, that's it.